Ding. Your microphone noticed the noise around you and decided to raise your own volume to dominate the entire venue. Lin Yu felt even more happy. What do you want? Clearing his throat, Lin Yu brought the microphone to his mouth. Mr. Obadiah Stan, Tony is the boss of Stark Industries. You have to refute the boss's decision just after speaking. Are you planning to usurp the throne? Lin Yu's voice passed through the strengthening of the mutant microphone and instantly reached everyone's ears. Even if the scene is very noisy, there are a lot of messy noises. Nor did it have any impact on Lin Yu's words. Everyone felt that this sentence was as clear as if they were speaking in their own ears. The entire venue suddenly became crazy. Countless reporters began to look for the person who said this. That's awesome. This person is a real sensible person. When everyone was paying attention to Tony Stark's movements, he unexpectedly discovered a bigger explosion. Indeed, Tony Stark is the big boss of Stark Industries. Is the largest shareholder of Stark Industries. But this Obadiah Stan did not listen to the boss. Does he have any strange ideas? Following Lin Yu's words, the reporters thought for a while, as if they had discovered a new world. Obadiah Stan is from Tony's father's generation. He has been conscientious in Stark Industry for so long, but he has always been crushed by the powerful Tony. So, will he have grievances? Nonsense. There must be grievances. Coupled with Tony being so irresponsible, his grievances must be even greater. Oh my goodness. Could it be? He already had a grudge against Tony? Will Tony's disappearance involve him? Relying on the reporters' unique keen sense of smell, they seem to have discovered a bigger news. In the audience, the reporters all looked at Obadiah Stan. Raising the microphone, one after another began to ask questions. Mr. Obadiah Stan, what do you think? Why refute Tony's words? Mr. Obadiah Stan, are you dissatisfied with Tony Stark's constant pressure on your head? Mr. Obadiah, did you participate in the kidnapping of Tony before? Hearing these Obadiah Stams, my lungs were blown up. Where is this special meow? Where did I say that I would usurp the throne? Although there is indeed such an idea, however, it is not good to be guessed. In the face of aggressive reporters, Obadiah Stan was completely helpless. As an old guy who has been in society for so many years, he knows exactly how to deal with these reporters. In this situation, it is not suitable for me to say more. The more you say, the easier it is to fail. The best way is to arrange for the reporters to stuff some dollars afterwards. The omnipotent dollar can solve everything, and Obadiah Stan does not hate these reporters, they are just like this. I have used them many times to publish remarks that are beneficial to me. What Obadiah Stan really hates is the first person to say that. But at the moment, Lin Yu has quietly left the scene. Hidden merit and fame. But when Lin Yu said that sentence, Obadiah Stan noticed the Asian face of Lin Yu. While leaving quietly under the protection of his bodyguards, Obadiah Stan arranged. Immediately contact the reporters present individually and give them $50,000 each and let them all shut up. Also, find me the identity of the Asian journalist who spoke the first sentence, and tell me as soon as you find it. Obadiah Stan apparently regarded Lin Yu as a reporter. Under Obadiah Stan's orders, several of his core men acted immediately. And at the moment, Lin Yu has once again sat in his comerally. Feel comfortable. Lin Yu didn't rush to drive, but leisurely turned on his phone, searching for things about this press conference. Even if Obadiah Stan handles it in time, there will definitely be reporters who will send out today's affairs as quickly as possible. This group of free reporters has no bottom line. They will send out the article first, earn traffic, and then delete the article after receiving the $. Thus, fame and fortune. As for the consequences of their news release, they will not care. At most, it is just to remind friends around you, hurry up and throw away the Stark Industrial stocks in your hands. Just a few minutes. News about this press conference appeared on the internet. Obviously, some reporters couldn't wait to use their mobile phones to release news before they even showed up. The news title is very nice. Stark Industries has fallen into civil strife. Obadiah Stan, the second largest shareholder, is suspected of kidnapping Tony Stark in order to gain power. The word suspect is perfect. It not only makes everyone want to be wrong, but also puts aside the responsibility of perfect beauty. At the same time, when such news appeared one after another, there was an immediate reaction in the stock market. The stock of Stark Industries has reached its limit again. Correspondingly, Hanmer Industries is favored by more people. After all, in the whole of the United States, these two are the two largest military enterprises and old competitors. Just a few minutes after Stark Industries dropped its limit, Hanmer Industries' stock rose to its daily limit. Looking at the amount of stocks on the mobile phone, Lin Yu is not only a little emotional. Sister, I have helped you make a lot of money again. Subsequently, Lin Yu drove the Camaro back slowly to his grocery store. For this brand new Camaro, Wanda was shocked again. However, Lin Yu used the strange variation of the grocery store to prevaricate the past. Lin Yu didn't want to make up other reasons, because the future variation is estimated to be more. There will be more and more weird things happening around Wanda. Fabricating a lie can only make oneself fall into eternal disaster. At the moment, as the core guy in the supporting role in the Marvel world, Nick Fury is driving to the Lin Yu grocery store. Facing the reports of his two subordinates, his mentality has completely jumped. He decided to see for himself how weird this guy named Lin Yu was. This time, he didn't bring many people, it just brought a more confidant, Sharon Cat. It was later the new girlfriend of the Captain of the United States. In the entire SHIELD, among the few people that Nick Fury trusts most, there is Sharon. Definitely, and Hill Agent is also the one he trusts the most. However, Hill Agent happens to have a task, so he can only take Sharon. He wanted to come alone by himself, but after thinking about it, he was still a little worried. After all, his two generals have become weird. If you have a problem, you can help yourself with someone. 10 minutes later, Nick Fury drove his black bulletproof Chevrolet SUV to the door of Lin Yu's grocery store. But what surprised him a bit? The situation here is completely different from what I arranged to investigate before. According to the investigation, Lin Yu's grocery store is operating in a dire situation. There is basically no business, and it can only be difficult to maintain the daily expenses of the two brothers and sisters. But now, Nick Fury sees a constant flow of people in the grocery store. Good business is terrible. What's happening here? Did you make a mistake in your previous investigation? Is Lin Yu still a business genius? With a confused expression, Nick Fury and Sharon got out of the car. After passing through the crowd, the two finally arrived at the grocery store that they had heard of many times. But everything that greeted the eyes, but one of the two was stunned. This grocery store is really weird, because they found that the goods in this grocery store were too ordinary. All are ordinary daily necessities. Moreover, there is no famous brand, all of them are small brands that have not even heard of the name. Is that what Natasha Romanoff and Phil Coulson said are all fine? Nick Fury muttered to himself. At the moment, Lin Yu and Wanda brother and sister are very busy. There were too many people in line to check out, and the two didn't seem to notice the arrival of Nick Fury and Sharon. In this regard, Nick Fury did not care. He felt that Lin Yu probably wouldn't know himself. Although he knows Natasha Romanoff and Phil Coulson, it does not necessarily mean that he also knows himself. Compared with their two high-level agents, their information is more confidential. Seeing that Lin Yu and brother and sister were still busy, Nick Fury took Sharon to stroll around the store. Behind the bar, while helping to collect the money, Lin Yu quietly took a few glances at the black charcoal. How could Lin Yu not recognize such obvious characteristics? Even in a crowd of thousands, you can definitely see him at a glance. His head is bare and he wears a Cyclops eye mask, who is not SHIELD director Nick Fury. But Lin Yu was not surprised by the arrival of Nick Fury. The ability he showed has definitely reached the standard for joining Avengers. Nick Fury will come sooner or later, it's just that Lin Yu didn't expect it to be so fast. And another thing I didn't expect was that Nick Fury came with Sharon. This woman, in the Marvel world, is also a core supporting role. Just when Lin Yu was thinking wildly, the system prompt in my mind also rang again. Ding. Congratulations to the host for meeting Marvel's core protagonist, SHIELD director Nick Fury, for getting 2 plot points. Ding. Congratulations to the host for meeting Marvel's core supporting role Sharon, and earning 1 plot point. Hear this sound. Lin Yu was taken aback for a moment. Unexpectedly, this black charcoal head turned out to be a protagonist. 3 plot points, get it again. In addition to what Lin Yu had left before, it has now reached 4 plot points. At the moment, just when Lin Yu was busy with excitement while paying attention to his system panel, Nick Fury frowned and picked up a black blindfold on the shelf. What? Nick Fury was surprised. This eye mask looks introverted, simple and elegant. Compared with this, the one that I am wearing on my eyes now looks a bit too crude. Time is approaching noon. The number of customers in the grocery store has gradually disappeared. The Lin Yu brothers and sisters who have been busy all morning can finally sit in the chairs and rest for a while. But Wanda's face was still very excited. In one morning, he made nearly thousands of dollars. This was totally unimaginable before. In recent days, the number of customers in the store has indeed increased a lot. And most of them were introduced through acquaintances. Even 70 to 80% of the customers are members of nearby gangs. Wanda suspected that the dozen or so guys that day must have secretly advertised their store after returning. Otherwise, business will not be so good. Gradually, there were only 4 or 5 customers left in the store. Except for Nick Fury, everyone else is also preparing to check out. While receiving the money, Wanda looked at the 2 people in front of him, her expression puzzled. Nick Fury and Sharon, both wearing black suits, are a bit out of tune with the environment here. Wanda turned her head and asked Lin Yu, "Brother, are these 2 people from S.H.I.E.L.D. again?" Even Wanda can see what they are wearing, which is very similar to what Phil Coulson did before. And Wanda has not contacted any other official departments except S.H.I.E.L.D. Therefore, we can only guess that they are S.H.I.E.L.D. Unexpectedly, it really made her guess right. Since Wanda's voice was not deliberately lowered or evasive, Nick Fury and Sharon both heard it. At the moment, they all turned their heads quietly and looked in the direction of the bar. And pricked his ears. Lin Yu glanced at the 2 casually, and then said without evasiveness, "Yes, they are also from S.H.I.E.L.D. It's just that the black charcoal head has an unusual identity, he is the chief of S.H.I.E.L.D. That woman is his subordinate and a high-level agent." Wanda nodded slightly without expression, but after hearing what Lin Yu said, Nick Fury and Sharon were completely stunned. This guy actually really knows his identity. Not only Nick Fury, but even Sharon knows it. Oh my goodness. Who the hell is he? Where did you get this information? I thought that Lin Yu would be shocked when he revealed his identity. But I didn't expect that they knew myself well. At this moment, the customers in the store have finally left. Nick Fury and Sharon walked slowly to the bar. "Do you know who I am?" Nick Fury asked calmly. As an agent leader, he doesn't show his true emotions. Although he was shocked, his face was calm. It seems that he doesn't care about Lin Yu knowing his identity. "Definitely, you are the leader of comrades Natasha Romanoff and Phil Coulson. They mentioned you to me." Lin Yu spread his hands indifferently and said. Nick Fury naturally didn't believe it. Natasha Romanoff and Phil Coulson are one of the 2 strongest agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is impossible to disclose their own news to outsiders at will. But hearing Lin Yu's words, Nick Fury also instantly understood Lin Yu's greatness. "Absolutely nonsense. Haha," Mr. Lin joked. Nick Fury said lightly. However, Lin Yu didn't bother to talk nonsense with him. "Do you have anything to do with me?" Lin Yu asked straightforwardly. Seeing Lin Yu asking so directly, Nick Fury was slightly taken aback. He is no longer polite. There was a heavy look on his face. It seems that what he will say next is very important. "Did you know that the Earth is not the only life in this world? There are countless extraterrestrial lives outside the Earth. Some of them are brutal, some are powerful, and they look forward to the Earth." Nick Fury was talking vigorously. Lin Yu suddenly waved his hand, interrupting Nick Fury's talk. "Are you talking about Kree and Skuru?" Lin Yu asked casually. This question asked Nick Fury directly. The affairs of the Kree and the Skuru are truly secrets. In the entire S.H.I.E.L.D., only a handful of people know. Even Sharon behind Nick Fury has no authority to know. And Lin Yu said it casually. "You. How do you know everything?" Nick Fury was completely stunned. He originally wanted to use alien affairs to bluff Lin Yu, and then think of a way to recruit him into Avengers. But now, the plan is completely ruined. It was me who was fooled. "Hurt. It's not a secret, Phil Coulson told me a long time ago," Lin Yu said indifferently. True and false, false and true, directly exploded Nick Fury's mentality. Phil Coulson does know it, but how could it be possible to tell him this kind of thing? Nick Fury felt that after preparing for a long time, he didn't use any of them. Lin Yu is simply the hardest guy he has ever met when he lives such a big life. Also the most nonsense guy. "Just explain your intentions, don't talk about it. I didn't see my little sister and I busy all morning, are they almost exhausted?" Lin Yu said with some dissatisfaction. Indeed, this sentence is not a lie. Throughout the morning, Lin Yu and Wanda did not relax. Although it did make a lot of money, but not a single point fell into Lin Yu's pocket. All were put away by Wanda. Lin Yu naturally feels tired because he has nothing to gain from his efforts. Wanda on the side obviously doesn't look tired. She is still tirelessly counting how much money she made in the morning. Hear what Lin Yu said. Nick Fury simply opened up completely. Anyway, this guy knows everything, so it's better to open the skylight and talk brightly. Nick Fury has a lot of experience and his way of dealing with problems is more sophisticated. I'm here this time to invite you to join Avengers. This alliance was established to resist the invasion of forces from outside the Earth. I hope you can seriously consider it. Nick Fury said sincerely. For Lin Yu, he no longer cares about so many things that are not assessed. After personal contact with him, combined with what happened during this period, he felt that if Lin Yu did not stand in the same camp as himself, it would definitely be an unfortunate thing for the S.H.I.E.L.D. and Avengers plan. Do not. It may even be a tragic thing. If Lin Yu goes against him, it will be extremely scary. Simply. No investigation, no assessment. Let's get to your own camp first. Hearing Nick Fury's words, Lin Yu remained calm. There were no surprises in the slightest, because he had guessed this when Natasha Romanoff and Phil Coulson arrived. As a rebirth, Lin Yu knows very well that in the early days of Marvel, Nick Fury has been trying his best to form Avengers. The strength he showed was enough to make him value it. But Lin Yu smiled slightly and said, "It's not easy for you to go all the way, so I'll give you a suggestion. You can think about it." Nick Fury smiled. "There is a show. You said, if I can do it, I will satisfy you." Nick Fury said hurriedly. He thought that Lin Yu wanted to make a request. Lin Yu smiled and said, "I have no problem joining Avengers. It's just that I don't obey, and the more I control, the less I listen. You set me a consultant position, just like an honorary professor in a university." Upon hearing this request, Nick Fury immediately understood what Lin Yu meant. "You mean, although you have joined Avengers, you cannot listen to any orders, and we have to recognize your identity?" Lin Yu nodded and said, "Yes, that's what it means. The most important point is that I allow you to use my name to scare people." Lin Yu emphasized it emphatically. Nick Fury was shocked directly. This is the real master. If you do this, Lin Yu can do many convenient things in the name of S.H.I.E.L.D., but S.H.I.E.L.D. is completely unable to direct the other party. Simply put, this seems to be completely useless for S.H.I.E.L.D. But Nick Fury took a deep look at Lin Yu again. In Lin Yu's eyes, he couldn't see any jokes at all. In other words, he is serious. How powerful is it to say such crazy words? Nick Fury frowned slightly. Then, seems to figure out something. "Dignity, I have decided just now, as long as Lin Yu is brought to the same camp with myself, that's enough. Even if they were only Avengers consultants in name, they would be regarded as grasshoppers on a boat." "Okay, I promise you," Nick Fury said solemnly. Instead, Lin Yu was taken aback for a while. He thought that Nick Fury would go back and think about it. Then, during the time he was considering, he made a little big move to help him make up his mind. "But I didn't expect Nick Fury to have such courage. Okay, you deserve to be the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. You will definitely not regret your decision." Lin Yu laughed, obviously in a good mood. Joining Avengers and being a consultant who doesn't care about anything is something Lin Yu has long thought of. Your own system needs to be upgraded, and the identity of Avengers is essential. With this level of identity, whether you are participating in more plots or seeing the core protagonists of Marvel, it will be more convenient. It will be easier to get plot points, and S.H.I.E.L.D. wipes his ass behind. No worries about anything. Definitely, the most important is the identity of the consultant is to make S.H.I.E.L.D. have no right to control himself. If you want to help yourself, you can, but it depends on your mood. "I hope so," Nick Fury said with a slight smile. He also understands the stakes. Lin Yu is obviously not an honest guy, the troublesome ability is terrible. After acknowledging his identity, S.H.I.E.L.D. has to be responsible for all his actions. But Nick Fury had to agree. The consequences of not agreeing may be even more difficult to accept. Now that the discussion has been done, Nick Fury and Sharon are going to go back. At this moment, Nick Fury suddenly put a black blindfold on the bar and said calmly, "Oh, yes, I have to pay for this thing." Seeing Nick Fury's behavior, Lin Yu laughed again. The director of S.H.I.E.L.D., the guy who controls the strongest organization in the Marvel world, finally failed to escape the influence of the lucky cat. The blindfold in Nick Fury's hand was actually just made by Lin Yu when he bought the goods. Unexpectedly, Nick Fury was really attracted. In fact, this black eye mask is similar to the one on Nick Fury's eyes. There is no styling. From Lin Yu's perspective, there is not much difference between the two. But in Nick Fury's eyes, it's different. It seems that the blindfold in Lin Yu's shop is obviously much better than the one I wear. Is this what Phil Coulson is talking about? It really is a boutique. Nick Fury was very generous and took out his wallet directly. In the wallet, all the bulging is U.S. dollars. Wanda, who was counting money, seemed to smell the dollar bills and raised her head. Moment. Her eyes are looking straight. With just a glance, Wanda can see how much money is in Nick Fury's wallet. 500 yuan. Without giving Lin Yu a chance to speak, Wanda directly raised 5 fingers. Then, excitedly explained, "The material of this blindfold is quite good. It is the treasure of our store. If you buy it from another person, it will cost at least 800 yuan. For these explanations, Lin Yu is a master of roar. No matter what nonsense, I really am not Wanda's opponent. But, for this transaction, Lin Yu has other ideas. Seeing that Nick Fury was about to withdraw money from his wallet, Lin Yu hurriedly reached out his hand and stopped the opponent's movements. Nick Fury was taken aback suddenly. Even Wanda looked at her old brother incomprehensibly. What's the situation? No more money, or is your asking price lower? Wanda was puzzled. She had already seen that there was at least $1,000 in that purse. I want 500, which is pretty good. Isn't my brother going to ask for 1,000 yuan? While Wanda was thinking about it, Lin Yu smiled and said, no, we don't sell the eye masks in this town shop, just change them. Not for sale? Just change? What to change? Nick Fury was taken aback. In addition to Nick Fury, Wanda and Sharon also pricked their ears. No one knows what Lin Yu wants to do, at this moment. Lin Yu smiled slightly. Slowly took out the pair of glasses that had been with him for many years from his clothes pocket, and wiped it lightly with the corner of his clothes. When wiping the glasses, Lin Yu tilted his body gently. The direction of the glasses was exactly aligned with Sharon's position. While wiping, Lin Yu let out a sigh of relief while putting it on his mouth. The 3 people in the grocery store are all waiting for Lin Yu's next words. However, Lin Yu is not in a hurry. Wipe the pair of glasses brightly. Then, slowly put it back in his pocket. It is too dangerous to wear glasses now. There is not only his own little girl in the house, but also Nick Fury. Lin Yu doesn't want to see what he shouldn't. But, when he breathed, Lin Yu already saw what he wanted to see. Finally, when the 3 of them were a little impatient, Lin Yu slowly said, as an advisor to Avengers, shouldn't you give me an assistant? Before Nick Fury could say anything, Lin Yu said again, I think Sharon is very good, looks very capable, and very suitable to be my assistant. No. As soon as Lin Yu's voice fell, the 3 people in the room shouted at the same time. The unanimous voice of the 3 even shocked Lin Yu. Nick Fury and Sharon don't agree, so why don't your little sister agree, go crazy? Lin Yu hurriedly pulled Wanda aside, frowning and asked, what's the situation, brother? I want an assistant, why do you disagree? Wanda didn't show any weakness, pinched his waist, raised his head and said, I don't know you yet. I must have fallen in love with that woman. If I say no, I can't do it. Hearing this, Lin Yu's head is big. Meow, I am a man, so how come I can't have other women if I have a sister? No, I don't want to have other women either. I just want an assistant. But, it is irrational to argue with Wanda. Lin Yu rolled his eyes and whispered in Wanda's ear quietly, sister, you are stupid. I want to find you a free salesperson. You see, both of us are so busy, and you hire one specifically. How much does the salesperson want? At least several $1,000s a month. Are you willing to pay this money? Upon hearing Lin Yu's words, Wanda immediately wanted to understand. It is definitely more cost-effective to hire a salesperson for free than to spend money to hire a salesperson. Definitely. If Wanda is to hire a salesperson at his own expense, Wanda would rather do it himself. Seeing that Wanda nodded ignorantly, Lin Yu hurriedly came to the bar again. At this moment, Sharon has already expressed to Nick Fury that he is not willing to follow Lin Yu as an assistant. She is a high-level agent and can clearly do many important tasks. To be a little assistant here is really awkward. At the moment, Lin Yu has seen his decision in Nick Fury's face. Sharon is one of his most trusted agents in S.H.I.E.L.D. He wouldn't let Sharon come to be Lin Yu's assistant. Not only is Sharon unwilling, but he is also unwilling. You want an assistant? I can make arrangements for you after I go back to the game, but Sharon can't. Nick Fury shook his head and said solemnly. But, at the moment Lin Yu's smile on his face made him feel a little confused. I refused. Why is the other party so calm? Is it possible that what he wanted was not Sharon? But someone else? Do not. Natasha Romanoff is even more impossible. Nick Fury thought secretly in his heart. At this moment, Lin Yu suddenly put his hands on the bar, with a wicked smile on his face, slowly said, if you don't use Sharon to change it, I won't sell that blindfold to you. Hearing Lin Yu's words, Nick Fury suddenly wanted to laugh. Is this guy funny? Will I change out my strongest subordinates for a small blindfold? Isn't this a joke? Nick Fury turned his head, looked at Sharon, and then at the blindfold in his hand. His brows frowned slightly, At the moment, no one noticed. On the table leading to the door of the grocery store, the tireless beckoning cat suddenly lit up with 2 red lights in his eyes. It looks extremely weird. After the red light flashed, Nick Fury's brow furrowed deeper. He began to feel that he was wrong just now. This blindfold is really good. It seems worthwhile to change this blindfold with one hand. And Sharon is just here as an assistant for Lin Yu, and she is still under her own. If there is a task, he can still arrange her. Even help yourself to monitor Lin Yu. This is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It's perfect to be able to change to such a perfect blindfold and monitor Lin Yu, a consultant. A smile suddenly appeared on Nick Fury's face. Seems to figure out something. He slowly turned around and faced Sharon. Then, the voice said earnestly, "Sharon, I think it is very important to be an assistant to Mr. Lin, and only you are the most suitable." Sharon's face turned black when she heard these words. What's going on? Just now you just said no, you agreed so soon. Does the chief really want to change a blindfold with himself? Go crazy. How do you feel like you are just a cargo? At this moment, Sharon suddenly felt disappointed in Nick Fury. Perhaps, I have too high expectations for Nick Fury. Sharon lowered her head slowly. He didn't answer Nick Fury's words, nor did he resist any behavior, so he walked quietly behind Lin Yu. As an agent, Sharon knows his job attributes well. Even if Nick Fury's decision is not satisfactory, he is after all the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., his immediate boss. He must obey his orders. Since I can't resist, I can only endure it silently. But when I stood behind Lin Yu and saw Lin Yu's thin back, a strange thought suddenly came up in Sharon's mind. Perhaps there is nothing wrong with being an assistant to this young and handsome guy. Ding. Your assistant Sharon is extremely downhearted, looking for success by relying on goals, and having a sense of dependence on you. In Lin Yu's mind, the system prompt sounded suddenly. Lin Yu's face was taken aback, and he hurriedly looked at Sharon behind him. I saw that on Sharon's lowered cheek, there seemed to be a little blush. Damn it, it all works. Lin Yu suddenly regretted his decision. Because it seems that Wanda has a sense of dependence on herself, so she makes herself feel bad and desperate every day. Now it's great, here's another Sharon. I just wanted her to be really just an assistant to help herself manage the grocery store. By the way, she put on her glasses and enjoyed it every day. However, I didn't expect that when she just became an assistant, she was so mutated. Wouldn't it be impossible to get rid of it later? Lin Yu patted his forehead, a wry smile that only he understood appeared on his face. And at the moment, Nick Fury in front of Lin Yu has put the blindfold in his pocket, for fear that Lin Yu will regret it. It looks like a petty citizen who is greedy for petty bargains. Mr. Lin. Oh no, Consultant Lin. Then I will leave first. Nick Fury looked a little bit afraid of Lin Yu regretting. At the moment, in his eyes, that blindfold is the best. Paying a Sharon, using power for personal gain, filled his heart with satisfaction. At the same time, there was also a hint of joy. Lin Yu is feeling a little upset now, waved his hand casually, and said, "Come on, I'm not going to keep you for dinner." Nick Fury chuckled, turned and walked outside the door. Behind him, Lin Yu's voice came again. "Oh, yes, I will go to our unit headquarters when I have time later," and recognize the door. After Nick Fury left, Lin Yu's grocery store became quiet again. Quiet is a little weird. When there were only Lin Yu and Wanda, they were not so quiet. Behind the bar, Wanda sat on Lin Yu's gaming chair, holding her hands, looking at Sarong with a cold expression on her face. She didn't seem to understand a little until now. The money is indeed saved. But between myself and my brother, there was an extra woman. Why didn't he ask that black coalhead to arrange a male assistant for his brother? Why must it be a woman? And this woman looks quite pretty. Isn't this making yourself trouble? But Sharon is not a good crop either. After developing a sense of dependence on Lin Yu in her heart, she has made up her mind to do a good job of Lin Yu's assistant. At the moment, seeing Wanda looked a little unfriendly in her eyes, she did not show any weakness. The same embraces his hands, his face is cold. The temperature in the entire grocery store seems to have dropped a lot. The hardest thing is Lin Yu. He seems to have seen his desperate and tragic future. Why did he leave Sharon behind as soon as his mind got hot? Maybe Ida because I don't think the captain of the United States is worthy of Sharon. I am saving this good comrade Sharon. Lin Yu was thinking about it in a wild way. At this moment, Erha suddenly rolled down from the upstairs. Lin Yu's eyes lit up. Can't afford to provoke, still can't hide? Well, you two are familiar with each other first, I'll go out for a stroll. Lin Yu said weakly. Then, he beckoned to Erhu. One person and one dog rushed out of the gate like running away. Holding Erha and walking on the street, Lin Yu finally understood in his heart that Erha was his best friend. Erha's fat toot figure immediately attracted the attention of many girls. Some people even squatted down and interacted with Erha. Erha is also very well behaved and obedient, and will act like a baby. The girls who often provoke the onlookers laugh together. See this beautiful picture. Lin Yu's complicated mood finally calmed down a lot, and took out the glasses he carried next to him and put them on his face. S.H.I.E.L.D. Returning to Nick Fury at S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, it seems a little absent-minded. As soon as he returned to S.H.I.E.L.D., the Hill agent walked up. She was a little puzzled. Didn't the director go out with Sharon? Why is it that only the director himself came back? Director, where is Sharon? Hill agent asked. She has a better relationship with Nick Fury on weekdays, so she asks more casually. But, hearing this question, Nick Fury seemed a little guilty. After all, Sharon was used by herself to change the blindfold. To put it nicely, there is a new task. But in fact, it is indeed because I love this blindfold that I choose to let her be Lin Yu's assistant. She has a new mission, Nick Fury said casually. Hill was taken aback for a moment. Since the secretary didn't want to say, then I didn't ask myself. Although the relationship between the two is relatively good, the secretary does not want to let himself know about the task, so it is better not to ask. At this moment, Nick Fury put a hand in his pocket, touched his new blindfold, and then asked, by the way, what's the situation with you? Hearing Nick Fury asking himself, Hill remembered that he was here to report on work. There was a hint of surprise on her face, and then she said with some excitement, Director, it's basically confirmed that the frozen in that ice layer is the body of the Captain of the United States. Nick Fury nodded and said, okay, send more people to bring the hero's body back to the motherland as soon as possible. Okay, Chief, Hill responded. At the same time, in the basement of Tony Stark's seaside villa, Tony is studying his steel battlesuit. Although in that cave, he only designed a rough idea, but he couldn't let it go. The design of the steel battlesuit was just a flash of inspiration at the time. However, the aura lingered no matter how. Therefore, Tony decided to make a real steel battlesuit. With the help of Jarvis, Tony quickly developed the first generation of steel battlesuit after many attempts. Compared with the sketches at the time, this steel battlesuit is more advanced, more comfortable to wear, and more powerful in function. The stocks of Stark Industries have fallen wildly in recent days. Tony hid in the house and didn't go out. However, Obadiah Stan was not idle. He came to the cave where Tony was trapped. The plan to eradicate Tony was a good one, but it failed. He wanted to find out who was in it, but there were unexpected gains from this operation. In the ruins, Obadiah Stan unexpectedly found the design drawings of the steel battlesuit. The drawing was crushed under the rubble, and it was not burned to ashes by the flames of the three-headed dog of hell. Obadiah was shocked as a heavenly man, like a treasure. After returning to the company, he immediately arranged for someone to secretly start the research work of the steel battlesuit. The second day. Early morning. Sharon came to the grocery store early, stood at the counter, and assumed the duties of a salesperson. Wanda also woke up early and bought breakfast for Lin Yu. For the first time, Lin Yu used to take care of her. I didn't expect Wanda to grow up after experiencing some things. Looking at the neatly arranged breakfast in front of him, Lin Yu shed tears of excitement. After half a day of running in yesterday, the two women successfully honed their synthesis skills. Although no one cares about anyone, but at least he didn't fight. This has made Lin Yu very pleased. At the moment, before Lin Yu finished his meal, some guests came to the door. In the past 2 days, the lucky cat is getting stronger and stronger. At the same time, Lin Yu also began to feel that his decision was correct. Although 2 women will cause trouble for themselves, with an additional assistant, they don't have to be too busy. And Langshaw looked like a clean person. Being a small salesperson is absolutely no problem at all. It was 2 young lovers who walked in the door to buy things early in the morning. They seemed to be shopping casually. When I came to the grocery store, I didn't rush to buy anything. Instead, look left and look again. Seems to be picking something. Naturally, Wanda, a financial fan, will not let every customer go. Seeing that the 2 hadn't picked a suitable product, they hurriedly greeted them and introduced them to them. But Sharon, who was standing behind the bar, seemed to have a dignified expression on her face. Her eyes stared at the 2 customers closely, not knowing what she was thinking. Lin Yu is still eating the breakfast in his hands. Erha squatted beside Lin Yu, shaking his tail constantly, as if he wanted Lin Yu to give some breadcrumbs. However, after waiting for a long time, no slag was left behind. Unconsciously, the two customers were getting closer and closer to Lin Yu while looking at the merchandise. Lin Yu just wanted to move up his small table to make room. Suddenly, a flash of cold light, a dagger suddenly appeared in the hands of the male customer. His face was cold, and his shot was extremely fast. When Wanda and Lin Yu didn't reflect at all, they stabbed Lin Yu's heart. He is ready to kill with one blow. As a top killer, the man's experience is very sophisticated. And the shot is tough. At the same time, his companion, the woman, also took out a pistol with a silencer around her waist. The scene suddenly became extremely dangerous. Ding. Your vest sensed the danger of being pierced, and automatically changed its material to evolve into a vibranium vest. Ding. Your grocery store is afraid of being hurt by a pistol, and the air suddenly becomes damp. In this kind of air, the gunpowder in the bullet can be damp in 2 seconds. But only Lin Yu knows these system prompts. Others just felt that the air seemed to suddenly become humid. But in this kind of emergency, no one cares about the air humidity. At the moment, Wanda's eyes were round, and there was endless fear in her heart. Moment. A red light started to light up on Wanda's body. Especially on her hands, has completely turned into a crimson color. At Lin Yu's feet, Erha also seemed to have discovered something wrong. On its body, black and green colors have begun to appear. It seems that in the next instant, it can jump up immediately, swallowing the dagger together with the arm that is holding it. These changes were completed in an instant. The man holding the dagger didn't seem to notice it at all. There was already a triumphant smile on his face. It is expected that in the next second, the target will die on his own dagger. Then, he and his partner will kill the remaining 2 women, finally clean the battlefield, and leave easily. $5 million in remuneration will soon be credited to his account. This money is indeed coming a little faster. It is unexpected that a small grocery store owner is worth so much money. But for myself, the higher the price, the better. The only regret is, because Lin Yu turned his back to him, he could not see the slight smile at the corner of Lin Yu's mouth. Although the system has not yet been promoted to level 4, other people's things cannot yet mutate. But in your own grocery store, can you be injured if you have a system? 2 hectares, 1 is not something those 2 can deal with. However, at this time, a green hand suddenly appeared on Lin Yu's back. I don't know when, Sharon has quietly come to Lin Yu's side. As the top agent in the Marvel world, when the 2 people first walked in, she noticed something wrong. With a slight flip of his wrist, the dagger in the man's hand was knocked into the air. A hint of surprise suddenly appeared on the man's face. This woman is so strong. But although the man was surprised, he didn't show any tension on his face. Because they also have a second line of insurance. That woman stopped herself and her companion. And from the corner of the man's eyes, he could see that his companion's pistol had been aimed at the target's chest. At the moment, in the whole grocery store, the only one who feels calm is Lin Yu himself. After hearing the prompt sound in his mind, Lin Yu has basically determined that he will never get hurt. So, Lin Yu at the moment seems to be a little relaxed, feeling outside. But Lin Yu was still a little surprised by Sharon's shot. Unexpectedly, the means of this agent are indeed somewhat unusual. One shot, the man's assassination was resolved in an instant. Immediately afterwards, the 2 quarreled with each other. The other side, the woman had also aimed the pistol at Lin Yu's chest. Her face also showed a trace of fierceness, although Sharon's strength shocked her a bit. But as a top killer, she never affects her performance because of any accident. Her fingers had already begun to press the trigger on the pistol. However, at the moment, she suddenly felt that her hand seemed to be unable to move. Immediately afterwards, she saw that a burst of red energy wrapped her hands. Following the red light, then she saw things that she would never forget. I also introduced her to various products just now. At the moment, Wanda, with a bright smile, slowly floated up. All around her are that bright red color. Even Wanda's eyes flashed red. At the moment, Wanda stretched one hand forward and aimed it at the hand of the woman holding the gun. It seems that it was these red energies that made her unable to control her hands. At the moment Lin Yu was threatened with life, Wanda finally awakening Scarlet Witch's ability. Boom. Wanda's hand flicked lightly, and the female assassin's body flew out. After knocking down 2 shelves in a row, he lay on the ground, convulsing slightly. It seems that the injury is not light, and at the moment, Sharon's fight with the male assassin was basically over. Although the opponent is a top-level assassin, he still cannot match the shield high-level agent. His ability is all on assassination. Close combat is not Sharon's opponent at all. 20 seconds. Sharon subdued the opponent and controlled it. The entire assassination operation lasted less than half a minute before it was all over. The two top killers were planted in an ordinary grocery store. At the moment, the mood of the two of them is really a bit complicated. That man is fine, after all. Sharon's strength has been personally learned by him, and he is willing to go downhill. That woman is a bit miserable. Scarlet Witch's strength, even though she was just awakening, was enough to leave her without resistance. Even Sharon was shocked to see Wanda at the moment floating in the air. She has heard of investigation reports by Phil Coulson and Natasha Romanoff. I know that Lin Yu's sister is not an ordinary person. But, unexpectedly, she was so powerful. What is not an ordinary person? This kind of power is not human at all. At this moment, Lin Yu gently soothed some grinning teeth beside him, looking quite happy. Then, slowly stood up. Did not care about the female assassin who was lying on the ground and could not stand up. Lin Yu came directly to the male assassin controlled by Sharon. He smiled slightly, and then said softly, unexpectedly, someone paid an assassin to kill me. After Lin Yu got up, Erha also stood up, then quietly followed Lin Yu behind. And Wanda, a little surprised, put away his ability. And slowly fell from the sky. Although she had a lot of puzzles, at the moment did not say anything. At this time, let's give everything to my brother first. Wanda has this consciousness. Although she is often unreasonable, she still knows that Lin Yu is the boss of the family at critical moments. At this moment, the man whose arm was controlled by Sharon suddenly gave a wry smile. Neither did I expect that the women around you were better than the other. At this time, the man was basically desperate. Therefore, it seems to be much calmer. Ever since he became a killer, he had fantasized about the day of failure. It's just that I didn't expect it to come so soon. Go ahead. If you want to die faster, just say your employer's name, Lin Yu said softly. But, obviously, the other party will not easily name the employer. This is a taboo for a killer. Even if he died, he wouldn't say it. Otherwise, he will be punished by the organization. His friends, family, and all those who have been in contact with him will be wiped out. Don't bother to speak. I can't say it, just kill me. The man smiled, seeming to have taken life and death down. Seeing the look and tone of the male assassin, even Sharon frowned. This kind of assassin can't help him even if he is himself. Unless taken to the interrogation room of S.H.I.E.L.D. Give him a shot of Veritaserum. But, obviously Lin Yu has no plan to hand over the person who wants to kill him to others. In his mind, there was a solution long ago. Sharon, let him go. Lin Yu said softly suddenly. Sharon was taken aback for a moment. Let him go? Lin Yu is what he wants to do. This guy wanted to kill you just now, but now he wants to let him go. Sharon looked at Lin Yu again, her eyes full of questions. Lin Yu smiled slightly and nodded. Finally, Sharon slowly let go of the opponent's arm. Although she is puzzled, her current status is Lin Yu's assistant. Since Lin Yu has made this decision, she can only do so. The male assassin did not expect that the other party actually released himself. Although the joint of one of his arms has been misaligned, it does not affect his walking. He looked at Lin Yu a little puzzled, then looked at Wanda and Sharon again, and slowly got up. I don't understand why the other party let him go. But, he still walked slowly towards the door. On the other side, on the ground near the shelf, his teammates were still lying there. But, he doesn't care about his teammates. I was lucky enough to be able to escape, slowly. The male assassin walked to the gate. The two women, Wanda and Sharon, looked anxious when the male assassin was about to walk out the door. They all thought that Lin Yu would have any wonderful ideas. However, until now, Lin Yu is still unmoved. It seems that I really want to let him go. Even the female assassin lying on the ground was full of despair in her eyes. If the teammate is gone, then her own fate will probably be even more miserable. However, just when everyone except Lin Yu felt that the male killer union left the grocery store easily. Behind the grocery store, the lucky cat's eyes suddenly lit up. And at the moment, the male assassin turned his head suddenly. Stopped. His eyes turned to the shelves in the grocery store. On that shelf, there is a fruit knife. He had seen it just before he did it. That fruit knife. Modeling A quality A. It's all about the same. But, in the eyes of this male killer, it seemed to be a top dagger. If you can own such a dagger, then coupled with your own strength, you will definitely be able to make yourself a truly top killer. My own assassination failed this time, probably because the dagger was not good enough. Since the other party has decided to let him go, then why can't I buy this dagger and then leave? At this moment, the idea of buying a dagger in the man's mind suddenly took over his entire brain. Don't go. In the surprised eyes of Wanda and Sharon, the man slowly turned around and came to the shelf. Then, as if getting a treasure, he picked up the fruit knife. I want to buy this superb dagger. How much does it cost? Let's talk about it. The two women, Wanda and Sharon, dropped their jaws completely. How does it feel so weird? This guy walked to the door, but he didn't even leave. The reason for not leaving turned out to be a fruit knife. He still stupidly said that the fruit knife in his hand is the best dagger? Go crazy. Still scared? The whole grocery store seemed to be filled with an extremely strange atmosphere. Even Sharon felt chilly, and at the moment, Lin Yu walked slowly in front of the male assassin, not afraid that the other party was still holding a weapon in his hand. It's not easy to buy this superb dagger. Lin Yu smiled slightly, then stretched out a finger, and then said, $10,000, plus the employer's name. Sharon took 2 steps back quietly. She has been scared by Lin Yu. Original. It is not the other party who is weird, but the owner of this grocery store. An ordinary fruit knife that can no longer be ordinary is sold for $10,000. Moreover, the name of the employer is also required to buy it. It's a black shop. In this case, Wanda's is a little better at adapting to ability. After all, he just had some terrifying power. And this grocery store is not normal. At this moment, after hearing Lin Yu's words, the male assassin's face suddenly showed an expression of extreme pain. $10,000 is nothing to him. Buying a superb dagger, $10,000 is considered reasonable. But speaking out the employer's name touches your bottom line. For a while, his heart struggled extremely. The expression on his face gradually distorted. There seems to be a pair of angels, one black and the other white, fighting in his mind. But obviously Black Angel has foreign aid. And this foreign aid is Lin Yu. At this time, Lin Yu slowly said again, I will give you 3 seconds to think about it, otherwise we won't sell this superb dagger. Lin Yu stretched out 3 fingers. The countdown began in his mouth. 3. The man's face showed an expression of extreme pain, even more painful than the failure of the mission. 2. The man suddenly grabbed his hair with both hands and pulled it vigorously. 1. Obviously. At the moment, the male assassin struggled extremely. On the one hand, it is the bottom line of being a killer and the issue of family safety. On the other hand, his desire for the extreme dagger in his mind has begun to become crazy. Do not. The man yelled, almost collapsed. He looked at Lin Yu's outstretched finger, his eyes were bloodshot. The employer is, the man slowly said, at the moment. When the female assassin lying on the ground heard the man's words, her eyes suddenly widened. Her face suddenly turned pale. No, don't say it, the female killer yelled frantically. The two act as partners. If the mission is successful, the two will share the commissions, and the mission will be responsible for the failure. But if the partner sells the employer's information, the fate of the two will be equally miserable. No, you shut up. The female assassin was still howling. But the male assassin didn't seem to hear it, and he said slowly, the employer's name is Obadiah Stan. When the name was spoken, the male assassin seemed to have lost his soul, and suddenly squatted on the ground. In the end, the lucky cat defeated his stubbornness. And at the moment, after hearing the name Obadiah Stan, Lin Yu didn't seem to be surprised. After Lin Yu crossed this world, he sinned 2 people altogether. One is General Ross of the military. The other one is Obadiah Stan. When the 2 killers started to act, Lin Yu had basically determined who was going to kill him. If it were General Ross, it is estimated that he would not spend money to find a killer. He would definitely arrange for his soldiers to deal with him. So, Lin Yu had already guessed the old fellow Obadiah Stan. The old guy didn't expect to be so restless, he seems to be looking for death. Lin Yu's mouth curled slightly and said to himself. At this moment, the male assassin who was paralyzed on the ground was finally relieved. He slowly got up and said to Lin Yu, now you can sell me this superb dagger, right? Lin Yu smiled slightly. Then he said to Wanda on the side, sister, go collect the money. When Wanda heard this, his face suddenly showed excitement. How much did my brother say just now? It seems to be $10,000. Oh my goodness, got rich. Sure enough, my brother is the real boss of this black shop. A fruit knife sells for $10,000. Wanda gave Lin Yu a thumbs up, and hurried to the back of the bar. Take out the POS machine. Swipe. The operation was swift, and the transaction was completed in less than half a minute. At the moment, the male assassin held his beloved fruit knife in his hand. His face showed a smile as he wished. He turned slowly and walked towards the door again. But behind him, Lin Yu suddenly squatted down at this moment, touched Erha's head lightly, and said to Erha, "Silly dog, I haven't prepared breakfast for you yet. Are you a little hungry?" Lin Yu reached out and pointed at the male killer who was walking outside. Erha instantly understood the master's thoughts. Its eyes suddenly lit up. A touch of green instantly occupies its entire eyeball. Immediately afterwards, its whole body quickly turned into a green appearance. Erha happily ran forward a few steps, chased after him, and came to the back of the male assassin. At the moment, the male assassin was still lowering his head and carefully admiring the fruit knife in his hand, without paying attention. Behind him, a huge green dog's head suddenly approached. Erha's head grew several times in an instant. Then, he opened his blood basin and swallowed the male assassin in one bite. This scene scared the female assassin on the ground. She dragged her broken body with several fractures and crawled backwards frantically. He shouted in horror, "Don't eat me, I am willing to explain everything, I will be a cow and a horse for you." However, at the moment Lin Yu took out his glasses from his jacket pocket without any haste, wiped them and put them on slowly. Then he looked at the female assassin on the ground and said, "If you just told me earlier, now I don't have anything I want to know." In the eyes of the female killer, the smile on Lin Yu's face was even more terrifying than the devil. Lin Yu with glasses is like a real gentle beast. At this moment, Erha at the door finally swallowed the man's body completely. Its head is big, but its belly is just a little bigger than before. I don't know where the body of an adult of that size has been placed. At this moment, Erha turned his gaze to Lin Yu, as if waiting for his master's order. Lin Yu sighed slightly. It seemed that he took off his glasses with reluctance, and then nodded gently. Such a good figure is indeed a pity, but there are already 2 women in the family, and if you add one, I guess I'm really going crazy. Let's give it to Erha as a snack. Seeing the master nod, Erha happily ran to the female killer again. Time flies. During this time, Lin Yu once again led a happy life. This time, it was really happy. After the last assassination of the killer, the 2 women around Lin Yu reached a settlement. Especially after seeing Sharon rescue Lin Yu for the first time, Wanda's attitude towards Sharon was much better. And Sharon gradually understood that Lin Yu was just a brother-sister relationship with Wanda. Wanda was just wishful thinking. So, her views on Wanda have also changed a lot. In the daily contact, I actually had a feeling of treating my sister. Make Wanda feel warmer. This has contributed to a harmonious life in the grocery store. And Lin Yu finally succeeded in living a happy life. It's okay to admire the beauties, go shopping and walk the dog occasionally, so happy. During this time, S.H.I.E.L.D. has not been idle. Because the Captain of the United States, who was frozen, was still alive. Nick Fury took the Hill agent and went off the court personally to help the Captain of the United States adapt to his current life. Natasha Romanoff and Phil Coulson received new assignments. They discovered that Tony was the identity of Iron Man, and seemed to perceive that Obadiah Stane, the second largest shareholder of Stark Industries, seemed to have a problem. Natasha Romanoff began to protect Tony, and Phil Coulson began to investigate Obadiah Stane. New York Military District. After the last time the Green Giant Erha Brain New York Military Base. The New York Military District has undergone a long period of restoration and maintenance. Finally, the previous combat effectiveness was restored again. The destruction of aircraft and tanks was a minor problem for General Ross. The military is not short of money, and these things, as long as you have money, you can easily buy them. The biggest loss for General Ross in that Erha attack was that the Hulk took advantage of this chaos and escaped. He was furious about this. The hatred for Lin Yu in my heart is almost overwhelming. Although he is not sure that the husky Erha is Lin Yu's husky change. But as soon as his subordinate Havoc returned from Lin Yu's grocery store, his base was attacked. Moreover, only Havoc and a few of his team members died. This is obvious enough. For General Rose, the only good news is that although the Hulk has escaped, the military has left a lot of Hulk's blood during this time. Combining some research data of Mr. Land's past, the military's research progress is advancing by leaps and bounds. It really made them research something, at the moment. In the underground secret base of the New York military base, General Ross is standing in front of a huge amounts of bulletproof glass, watching the experiment in progress in the laboratory. On the other side of the glass, 3 soldiers with disabilities are being fixed on the erected iron bed. The 3 of them either had a broken arm or a leg. And this time the experiment was also used by General Ross to recover physical disabilities and lure them to participate. At this moment, several military researchers in white coats finally made all the preparations. General Rose held a communicator in his hand and said to the people inside, "Let's start when you're ready." Several scientific researchers simultaneously pressed the red button on the machine. Suddenly, several tubes of dark green liquid were injected into the bodies of 3 disabled soldiers. After the injection started, several scientific researchers hurriedly opened the door of the laboratory and came outside. Even the participants in their experiments were a little scared about the goal of the experiment after the injection of these liquids. Because they have done many human experiments before. Almost all failed. This is their 5th human experiment. And at the moment, outside the glass, General Rose also became slightly nervous. The success or failure of the experiment is extremely important to him. He can't wait, as the dark green liquid was gradually injected into the bodies of the 3 soldiers. Changes have also appeared in their bodies. First, their eyes began to turn green. Immediately afterwards, the skin of the whole body gradually turns green. Then, their bodies began to skyrocket wildly. The muscles all over his body began to bulge in an extremely exaggerated way. The green veins are exposed. This process seems extremely painful. The 3 of them couldn't help howling frantically. In the previous experiments, when the muscles began to bulge, the entire body of the subject suddenly exploded and turned into a pool of blood. But today, the muscle uplift speed of these 3 subjects seems to be significantly slower than the previous few times. General Rose gradually showed a hint of excitement. If it succeeds, it represents its own army and will have a group of terrifying super soldiers. Even stronger than the super soldiers made by super serum. After a few minutes, the bodies of the 3 soldiers in the laboratory finally slowly stopped changing. The body parts of the 3 soldiers at the defective moment all regrown. And the scariest thing is their size. Almost all of the 3 soldiers became monsters over 2 meters long and full of explosive power. Their skin did not turn into bright green like the Hulk. It's just slightly greenish, not very obvious. Their height, although much taller than ordinary people. But it's still within the range of normal people. It's just a little bit taller than the average basketball player. The only difference from ordinary people is their eyes. The eyes of the 3 people, whether they were white or black, all turned dark green. It's like a demon from far-reaching. Just by looking at each other, you can feel the oppression from the 3 super warriors. At this moment, the 3 soldiers, with a light wave of their hands, broke free of the belts holding them. A look of hideousness appeared on the faces of the 3 of them. This experiment not only gave them terrifying bodies, but also made their minds more irritable. The dark green potion developed by the blood of the Hulk greatly increased their desires. But the soldiers' instinct still made the 3 of them stand in front of the glass one after another, and gave General Rose a military salute. At the moment, General Ross finally showed a knowing smile on his face. All efforts were finally not in vain. He turned around and walked towards his office. As he walked, he ordered, "Let the 3 of them come to my office to see me." After a few minutes, General Ross's office. General Rose sat quietly behind his desk. In the center of the office, stood 3 super soldiers with extremely majestic figures. He slowly said, "From now on, the 3 of you will only obey my orders and be directly under my jurisdiction. Now, let me give you the first task to bring back an Asian young man named Lin Yu and his pet dog." A cruel smile appeared on General Rose's face. This hateful guy, if he falls into his own hands, he will definitely make him want to die. At the moment, just when the 3 super soldiers set out to perform their tasks under the order of General Ross, Lin Yu is doing his favorite activity every day. Walk the dog. Although the home also has beautiful scenery. But if you see a lot of scenery, you will always feel a little tired. So, every evening, walking the dog is still Lin Yu's happiest moment. At the moment, on the streets of Manhattan where neon lights are flashing and pedestrians are endless, Lin Yu was wearing a well-made beige trench coat, with a pair of slightly gentle gold-framed glasses on his face, and holding Erha's dog leash in his hands, which formed a sharp contrast with the rushing crowd on the street. Yawned lazily. Lin Yu's mentality at the moment is completely different from these mortals. They also need to work hard to make a living every day. But Lin Yu has already left this state, although he still didn't have a few dollars. But there is no money in the bank card. Well, actually the money in the stock market is also Wanda's. Never mind. I still don't want money anymore. There is a little girl who is greedy for money. Lin Yu really can't save money. Fortunately, Lin Yu himself has nothing to spend. Wanda and Sharon look after the grocery store. Wanda is well served by Wanda every day. Except for the physiological problems, I haven't figured out how to solve them, and all other life problems have been arranged clearly. Even, sometimes when I am really hungry, some food may be contaminated in the microwave in the kitchen. At this moment, several white-collar women who seem to have just got off work, after seeing Erhan's cute look, suddenly surrounded them with surprise. They look pretty good. According to Lin Yu's aesthetic standards, he can at least score 7 or 8 points. This is pretty good. Lin Yu hurriedly helped his glasses, a simple and shy smile appeared on his face. And Erha, who was surrounded by a few beauties, also began to show off his chubby body vigorously. Its ass, writhing in front of a few beauties, caused them to laugh. Lin Yu quietly found a right angle and watched this happy scene with a smile. Really? You still have to come out to see the scenery. Always stay at home, no matter how beautiful the scenery is, you will get bored. However, at this time, in the beautiful scenery, a few uninvited guests suddenly entered. 3 strong men who seemed to be 2 meters, 4 or 5 meters tall suddenly appeared beside Lin Yu and Erha. All 3 of them wore camouflage uniforms with a black mask on their faces. Although there is no weapon on his body, but just seeing the terrifying bodies of the 3 of them seemed to be able to feel an invisible pressure. Although the streets of Manhattan are crowded with people. But the 3 soldiers surrounded Lin Yu and others without any scruples. Their terrifying size is the greatest deterrent. When pedestrians saw it, they gave way. The beauties surrounded by them seemed to realize that something was wrong, and fled from the gap between the 3 soldiers. The soldiers didn't stop me at all. Their goal is not those beautiful women. At the moment, the middle of the 3 soldiers. There is only Lin Yu who is slightly thin and weak, and Erha who is still shaking his ass. The 3 soldiers, not only wearing masks, but also wearing sunglasses. But at the moment, Lin Yu has not taken off his see-through glasses. So, I clearly saw the green eyes behind the 3 people's sunglasses. Lin Yu was shocked in his heart. The identities of these 3 people are already Roar's desire to come out. Obviously something cultivated by General Ross. Lin Yu remembered that in the Marvel movie, even at the end, General Rosa's super soldier plan had never been successful. But Lin Yu did not expect that this time, he actually made him successful. Perhaps it is because of the changes brought about by one's own journey. But on Lin Yu's face, I still couldn't see any emotion of fear. Just a few super soldiers. Even if the Hulk, the source of their mutation, stood in front of him, Lin Yu didn't worry at all. His Arhu not only wags his tail to please girls. At this moment, one of the super soldiers opened his mouth and said buzzingly, "Come with us, the general wants to see you." His tone was not a question, it was a tone of command. After all, in his opinion, Lin Yu's thin body can even crush him into meat sauce as long as he stretches out a finger. In front of him, Lin Yu had no room to fight back. Nor does it have the power to decide one's own destiny. What if I don't want to go? Lin Yu said lightly. He really didn't want to go. If the system is upgraded to level 4, which can make everyone around him mutate, Lin Yu may be willing to take a trip and teach that General Ross a profound lesson. But the system now has only 3 levels. Lin Yu will never take personal risks. Hearing Lin Yu's words, the soldier showed a trace of hideousness on his face, and then stretched out his palm with a big laugh. Slowly, squeezed in the air. Suddenly, there was a crackling sound in Lin Yu's ear. "I advise you to follow us honestly, otherwise I won't be able to grasp the strength of my hand," the super soldier said, buzzing again. Just when the super soldier threatened, Lin Yu just finished. In Lin Yu's mind, the voice of the system rang again. "Ding. Your pet dog became angry because he sensed that his owner was threatened, and he took the initiative to integrate the 2 energies on his body, and evolved into a 3rd-order mutant creature, the 3-headed dog of the Green Hell, and possesses the splitting ability." Hear this familiar voice. Lin Yu felt relieved immediately. Although this infinite mutation system is passively mutated and not under its own control, it never loses the chain at critical moments. I just don't know what the so-called 3-headed dog of the Green Flame Hell looks like. Split ability. What exactly is it? But since it is a 3rd-order mutation, it must be stronger than the previous 2nd-order mutation. This is for sure. At this moment, Lin Yu's heart is true, and he naturally speaks more openly. "Since you are Ross's subordinates, you should all know Havoc, right?" Lin Yu still heard the name Havoc from Sharon. Since becoming Lin Yu's assistant, Sharon has told him a lot about the internal affairs of the military and S.H.I.E.L.D. Havoc, which was eaten by Erha as a dessert, naturally did not fall. Hearing the name of Havoc, the three super soldiers were obviously taken aback. They naturally knew Havoc, the #1 soldier under General Ross. Only, isn't Havoc dead? At this time, Lin Yu pointed to Erha on the ground, and then said, Havoc, it was eaten by my pet dog. I guess your ending should be similar. Heard this sentence. The three super fighters were taken aback for a moment, and then a hideous expression appeared on their faces. How can they stand such an insult? The three felt that they were so powerful that they could even fight an army alone. The other party actually said that he would be eaten by a small pet dog. How can this be tolerated? The three slowly approached. Especially the super soldier at the front. He directly raised one of his feet, aimed at Erha's head, and prepared to step on Erha on the ground into meatloaf with one foot. Far away. Several beauties who hadn't been far out screamed after seeing this scene. That husky is so cute. They can't imagine why anyone would be so cruel. The screams of several beauties immediately aroused the onlookers of the surrounding passersby. Now, it is in the peak period of get-off work. Almost in a few seconds, countless people stopped and watched. And at the moment, just when the super soldier was about to slam Erha's head with one foot, the horrible mutation happened. Erha's body suddenly burned with a raging green flame. The colors of those flames, like ghost fires, looked strange in this evening. The super soldier also suddenly felt abnormal. It's not just the green lights around that caught his attention. Under his feet, there was also a terrifying high temperature suddenly. The high temperature melted the soles of his feet in an instant. Suddenly, there was a fierce burning sensation on the soles of his feet. The super soldier hurriedly retracted his foot. But in just a few seconds, the soles of his feet have all turned into charred black. Had it not been for the dark green liquid they injected to weaken part of their painful nerves, he would definitely be in pain now. And at the moment, the mutation of Erha has just begun. The eyes of the three super soldiers were all attracted by Erha. Even Lin Yu sneaked away without paying attention. At the same time, the green flames burning on Erha gradually attracted the attention of people around him. More and more people were onlookers. Many people raised their mobile phones and started taking pictures. For a while, the lights flickered. But, no matter how many people there are onlookers. Although his master is a low-key person, Erha is not very similar to his master in this regard. The more people there are, the more excited it seems. Even when he mutated, Erha happily shook his ass. The speed of this mutation is very fast. In just a few seconds, Erha, who was burning with green flames, grew up to the height of those super soldiers. Its height and size are still getting bigger. And, at the same time, above the two front legs of its body, two bulges began to bulge. The two bulges quickly enlarged, and then they turned into two equally green dog heads. A few more seconds passed. A huge amounts of three-headed dog in the green hell, which was about 2 meters taller than three super soldiers, appeared on the streets of Manhattan. The terrifying temperature began to spread. Compared with the dark red flames before, these green flames have little difference in temperature. But there is a strong corrosion ability. The people onlookers around started to back away frantically. While stepping back, I looked back. The ground under Erha's feet seemed to melt. The three super soldiers who were originally bullish, at the moment also looked very embarrassed. The clothes on their bodies have also begun to turn brown, and they seem to be burning soon. The light green muscles on his body also felt the terrifying temperature and strong tingling sensation. They hurried back, no arrogance in their eyes. Yes, it's just panic. This monster had already made the three people feel the endless fear before they even shot. They hurriedly used the communicator that had not been roasted temporarily to report to General Ross at the headquarters. General, our action has encountered obstacles. One of the target pet dogs has become a monster, very powerful. One of the super soldiers hurriedly reported to General Ross through the military channel. In the communicator, there was the unhurried voice of General Ross. Oh. Is it the monster with flames or the green monster? General Rose asked. The monster with flames on his body is the dog who once helped S.H.I.E.L.D. find Tony. A green monster all over, the dog that ruined most of his base. So, which dog is the three of them facing now? General Rose was not worried, although the tone of the super soldier sounded a little nervous. But General Ross has obtained the physical data of three super soldiers from researchers. It can be said that General Ross knows their true strength better than themselves. The three super soldiers are not only powerful, but also extremely powerful in defense. The most terrifying thing is that they also have a powerful recovery ability. Combining these kinds of abilities together, whether it is dealing with the burning monster or the green guy, it shouldn't be a problem. At this moment, in the communicator, the report voice of the super soldier came again. "RO, General Ross is burning with flames." General Ross frowned slightly when he heard the word flame. In fact, that flame monster is a bit more difficult to deal with than the green one. However, he believes that his super soldier will definitely be able to defeat the opponent. 3-1, if you can't win anymore, what is it called? A super soldier. RO, General Ross, it's a burning flame, a green monster. A green monster burning with flames? What it is? General Rose was taken aback for a moment. He had seen a picture of the monster burning with flames, which was clearly dark red. How did it become green? No matter what color it is. No matter what color it is, if you can catch it, bring it back. If you can't catch it alive, just kill it and bring the body back, General Rose commanded coldly. Compared to ordinary people like Lin Yu, he actually wants that pet dog more. If you catch this pet dog back, I believe my super soldier plan will become stronger again. But, at this moment, in the communicator, there was another panicked voice from the super soldier. His voice trembled slightly. "General, that monster turned into 3. On Manhattan Street. The asphalt road on the ground has already begun to burn with raging flames. An Erha in the flames, at the moment, is like a demon from hell. What's more terrifying is, after it became a full 4 or 5 meters high, the mutation did not stop. But the body began to split from the middle of the 3 heads. One is divided into 3 green monsters burning with flames. Each one has grown its own limbs and body. After one was divided into 3, the 3 Erha faced a super soldier at the same time. The original 3-on-1 situation immediately became 3-on-3. But, in front of the 3 behemoths, the 3 super soldiers looked very thin. Their original majestic body, in front of the 3 Erhas, seemed to be 3 little things. At this moment, in the communicator in the ears of the 3 super soldiers, General Ross's doubtful voice came again. "What 3? Isn't there just one monster? How come it has become 3 again? Tell me quickly." General Ross was obviously anxious. This time, it was the first time that super soldiers dispatched a mission. He has great expectations. Moreover, he also encountered that mutant pet dog. It was originally a thing worth celebrating. However, the performance of the 3 super soldiers made him a little disappointed. When the 3 of them reported the battle, they seemed a little silly. The monster that burned flames for a while, then turned green again, and finally turned into 3. Hardly, the eyes of the 3 super soldiers are not so good. Or maybe their bodies have become stronger, but their brains have become stupid? But, after General Rose asked this question, there was no sound in the communicator. After waiting for 2 full minutes, there was no answer. General Rose's face gradually showed a crazy anger. With one hand, he took off the headphones he was wearing on his ears, and suddenly fell to the ground. "A bunch of trash. Trash," General Ross shouted. At the moment, on the streets of Manhattan, with the 3 Erha burning green flames slowly approaching the 3 super soldiers. The clothes on their bodies began to burn, immediately afterwards. It's all kinds of equipment on them. Even the communicator in their ears turned into a puddle of liquid. The masks on the faces of the 3 super soldiers naturally did not escape the heat, revealing the 3 dark faces behind the masks. Their 3 pairs of eyes were still glowing green. But, at the moment, their eyes were full of panic. After they became super soldiers, the emotions in their hearts were magnified. However, I did not expect that the first emotion to be amplified turned out to be fear. Is it running? Still fighting? As a soldier, to escape without the general's order is to disobey the military order. But, in this situation, let them fight the 3 terrifying monsters, and they don't have the guts. For a time, the 3 of them slowly backed away, extremely tangled in their hearts. But, Erha was not entangled. The 3 2 hectares, all of them at the same time, caught up with the 3 backward super soldiers in an instant. The blood gulp began to bite crazily on the 3 super soldiers. And the 3 super soldiers, although they are powerful, faced 3 monsters stronger than them. That kind of resistance seemed very weak. The recovery of the 3 people is very strong, but under the endless burning of flames, the recovery speed can't keep up with the scorching speed. The situation of the battle instantly fell to one side. On Manhattan Street, countless pedestrians have retreated hundreds of meters away. Even though it is so far away, I can still feel the scorching temperature in the air. However, there is no life threatening. They took out their mobile phones one after another and took this horrible picture. And at the moment, in the corner of the crowd, Lin Yu was standing behind the crowd, wearing glasses, quietly scanning the people's back. Only. There are a lot of people, there are men and women, which really makes Lin Yu a little depressed. At the moment, suddenly the system reminder sounded in Lin Yu's mind. Ding. Your glasses felt the master's inner depression, and actively blocked the perspective function of male creatures. F*K, it's all right. Lin Yu was happy in his heart, and his eyes became unscrupulous again. At this moment, the situation of the 3-on-3 battle has also been thoroughly clear. The 3 super soldiers are not Erha's opponents at all. 3-2 hectares easily defeated 3 super soldiers. And, under the big mouth of Erhana, the 3 super soldiers all became Erha's rations. The smell of blood permeated all of Manhattan. Among the crowd onlookers, many people even vomited directly on the spot. Although the bodies of the 3 super soldiers are unbelievably strong, however, they are still human at least. 3 living humans were swallowed directly into their stomachs by 3 huge amounts of green monsters. The blood flowed down the mouths of the 3 Erhas, dripping constantly on the road, and then was turned into a ball of heat by the scorching temperature. This scene strongly stimulates people's eyeballs. And this time, after swallowing 3 super soldiers, the 3-2 hectares, and slowly began to stand side by side. Green muscles began to appear on their bodies, like earthworms, entangled with each other. Slowly, the 3 monsters turned into one again. Until the end, the 2 heads also slowly retracted into the body and disappeared. Erha's body also began to gradually shrink, finally, become an ordinary pet dog file-size green puppy. The green puppy seemed to see through the crowd and saw Lin Yu behind the crowd. Lin Yu nodded slowly. The green puppy went into the alley next to it and disappeared. At this moment, the temperature in the air has gradually returned to normal. People began to walk forward 2 steps tentatively, and only after finding that there were no problems, the crowd began to approach the battlefield just now. When people saw the situation on the battlefield, there was a loud sigh. On the ground, the asphalt on the asphalt road has all been burnt. Only some gravel that was burnt to darkness remained. The 3 tall and mighty humans have not even been able to stay in this world even a drop of blood. The 3-headed dog in the green hell just showed up for less than 2 minutes, and it created such a horrible scene. If you run a lap in the city, it is estimated that the whole city will be messy. Definitely. Lin Yu would not let Erha wander around in the city. If you want to hang out, you should also go to the New York military base. Manhattan Street gradually returned to calm, although the impact of this incident on the internet is not small. But people still need to live, and if they don't go out to work, there will be no money to make. Therefore, the mutation of Erhadong Street is limited to fermentation on the internet. In reality, people quickly returned to normal lives. Moreover, because Lin Yu escaped earlier, even if the onlookers took a lot of photos, Lin Yu did not have a photogenic. At the moment, in a dark alley on Manhattan Street, Lin Yu squatted on the ground and gently stroked Erha's head. Lin Yu is more and more satisfied with Erha's performance. You can go to battle to kill the enemy, and you can accompany yourself to go shopping and enjoy the scenery. Such a good dog can't be found with a lantern. Unexpectedly, I was met by myself. This is not only the credit of the system, the Erha is definitely not ordinary originally. At this moment, Lin Yu slowly said to Erha, "Erha, do you remember the military base last time? It's where there are planes and tanks everywhere?" Erha nodded hurriedly. Lin Yu was overjoyed. "Just remember, it really is my good dog. It's good for you to become a 3-man ability. Help me go to that base and walk around again. When I get there, I can play casually. You can also eat some supper." Hearing Lin Yu's arrangement, Erha's eyes clearly showed a hint of excitement. Indeed, those airplanes and tanks are just toys in its eyes. As for midnight snacks, definitely no one will refuse. Otherwise, how did it grow into this plump look by itself? After Lin Yu explained, Erha stepped on his short legs and trot in the direction of the New York military base. Behind Erha, the corner of Lin Yu's mouth was slightly cocked. Secretly said in his heart, "Rose, Rose, let's see how your luck is this time." It is estimated that Erha does not know General Ross. So, Lin Yu didn't explain who Erha specializes in eating, but just let it play at will. Look at your own belly file size decision. This means that the life and death of Ross will be completely determined by Erha. It is indeed quite interesting that the destiny of a general in the military is controlled by a dog. At the moment, General Ross, who was still in the base sulking his subordinates, did not know that a disaster was about to come. But Lin Yu did not pay attention to what would happen to the New York military base. Because, without paying attention, Lin Yu can probably imagine that picture. When the three terrifying Erha appeared there at the same time, it is estimated that the entire New York military base will become a sea of AA flames. This is Lin Yu's revenge against General Ross. As for whether General Ross would die in Erha's mouth, or be buried in flames, Lin Yu didn't care. Look at Erha's mood. Erha went to a military base in New York. But Lin Yu estimated that Erha would have to run for a long time just on the road. It is estimated that it will be a few hours later to get there. After all, Erha's running speed is really slow when he doesn't change his body. This guy usually eats too well, but he is a bit too fat. And Lin Yu. Then he went back to his own grocery store. As soon as he walked in, Sharon said to Lin Yu, "Boss, I need to get off work for a while, and the director tells me to go back and take care of some things." Normally, Lin Yu sets Sharon's get off work time at 8 p.m. And now, it's only 7 o'clock. Lin Yu was taken aback for a moment, and asked, "What's the matter?" They were all arranged as their own assistants, and they were called back to do other things. Lin Yu was very dissatisfied. Sharon hesitated a bit, still decided to tell Lin Yu. After all, Lin Yu is his own. The director said that they found the captain of the United States who was frozen 70 years ago, but he didn't expect him to be alive. Now, the director wants to arrange for the captain of the United States to meet with my aunt. Oh, yes, my aunt is one of the founders of S.H.I.E.L.D. and was also the girlfriend of the captain of the United States. Sharon told Lin Yu everything. Hearing Sharon's words, Lin Yu's eyes lit up slightly. The captain of the United States shows up, and Sharon's aunt Peggy Cat. Putting this together, there are 3 plot points again. At the moment Lin Yu's plot point, there are already 4 points. If you can get these 3 points again, it will be 7. Lin Yu's heart moved slightly, and then said, "Why don't I go with you? The captain of the United States is my idol, I would love to see him." As an idol, Lin Yu likes to use it the most. No one can stop a crazy fan from meeting his idol. Sharon did not refuse. After all, Lin Yu can be regarded as one of the members of S.H.I.E.L.D. Although only a consultant, he has the right to visit S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters. After explaining to Wanda, Lin Yu drove on his Camaro and took Sharon to S.H.I.E.L.D. For S.H.I.E.L.D., Lin Yu has long been looking forward to it. Definitely, it is not the kind of expectation of ordinary people. But looking forward to gaining more plot points in it. The 4-level system is what Lin Yu wants most now. The bright yellow Camaro let out a fierce roar, and swiftly moved towards the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters. And at the moment, New York military base. But it ushered in another terrible disaster just after the restoration. And this disaster is more violent than the last time. Last time, it was just a monster, and this time, it was 3. And there are 3 monsters with terrifying green flames burning on their bodies. 3 monsters biting everything crazy in the New York military base. The fire was raging, and even the ultra-high-strength metal such as tanks was burnt red. What made the soldiers of the New York military base desperate the most was, this time, the 3 monsters don't just destroy randomly. They can eat people. If you see someone, you can swallow it in one bite, not picky eaters at all. Crazy. All the soldiers were scared crazy. Even the entrance to the underground base below the New York military base was exposed in the raging flames. A green airhog got in through the narrow hole, suddenly. Turn upside down. Just walked into Nick Fury's office. Lin Yu and Sharon saw the scene from the TV screen on the wall of Nick Fury's office. At the moment, on the TV screen, the tragedy of the New York military base is being broadcast. A reporter, who was standing a few kilometers away from the New York military base, introduced with a sad expression, "Audience friends, this is the second time a New York military base has been attacked by an unknown creature in a month. This time, it was even more tragic than the previous attack. We can see that the blazing flames have completely swallowed the entire base. Even though we are 2 kilometers away from the New York military base, I can vaguely hear the screams coming from there. It's like hell on earth." Our reporter has contacted the Pentagon. It is said that other nearby military bases have dispatched fighter planes to eliminate the monsters that attacked here. God bless, hope justice will always stand by our side. At this moment, Nick Fury seemed to feel Lin Yu and Sharon who had arrived behind him. He turned his head abruptly. A one-eyed staring straight at Lin Yu. Frowning, his face is extremely serious. In seriousness, there seemed to be a trace of anger. But Lin Yu didn't care at all, just pulled a chair nearby and sat on it. In addition, Erlang's legs were raised and he looked directly at Nick Fury. At this moment, Nick Fury suddenly said to Sharon, "Sharon, you go out first, I will have a chat with Consultant Lin." But After hearing Nick Fury's order, Sharon did not leave directly. Instead, he looked at Lin Yu. It seems to be seeking Lin Yu's opinion. Seeing this scene, Nick Fury was taken aback. Then, the frown deepened. What's the situation? My subordinates, I can't even arrange them. Sharon knew very well that she actually had to listen to Nick Fury's arrangements. But, do not you know why? In her heart, she couldn't help but want to ask Lin Yu for advice. Therefore, she did not go out the first time, but took a look at Lin Yu. At the moment, sitting on the chair, Lin Yu, with Erlang's legs tilted, suddenly said softly, Sharon, you should go out first. Lin Yu didn't want his assistant to be embarrassed. Hearing Lin Yu's words, Sharon glanced at Nick Fury, her eyes full of apologetics, and then she walked out slowly. Nick Fury's face became more and more ugly. He now felt that he had made a very wrong decision to assign Sharon to Lin Yu as an assistant. But the most important thing now is not to entangle Sharon's problem. It's something on the TV screen. Nick Fury's face is ugly. It's like eating shit. Consultant Lin, you did too much, right? I just reported your identity, and you did something like this. How can I explain it to the above? Nick Fury's face was blue, black with green. Although the directions of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the United States Army are not pleasing to each other, they cannot attack the military bases. After all, both belong to the Great Malekan. Although one is really for the defense of mankind, the other is just a tool for the rich. However, you can't attack the opponent either. Nick Fury feels bitter. He began to reflect on himself. Giving Lin Yu the status of a consultant, is it right or wrong? How do you feel that his troublesome ability is much greater than his actual use? At this moment, after Lin Yu heard Nick Fury's words, his face gradually became cold. You mean, they want to kill me, can't I take revenge? Lin Yu said slowly. They are going to kill you. Nick Fury was startled. He really didn't know this matter. Yeah, you searched the news this evening. 3 soldiers were on the streets of Manhattan. They almost frightened me. Lin Yu said without changing his face. Nick Fury actually just returned to his office. I've been dealing with the captain of the United States before. Therefore, he did not know the previous 3 superfighters fighting Erha on the streets of Manhattan. After hearing Lin Yu's words, Nick Fury hurriedly searched. Really? The picture that catches the eye is the picture of 3 super soldiers and 3 three-headed dogs in the green hell. There are even videos taken by kind citizens. But how do you feel that this picture is a bit wrong? What I call it scares you. Isn't it that your pet dog frightened those 3 soldiers? The video showed clearly that after the appearance of the 3 three-headed dogs of the green flame hell, they easily swallowed the 3 strong and unprepared soldiers into their stomachs. This is what you said the military wants to kill you. How about you? Nick Fury asked silently. Lin Yu smiled slightly, spread his hands, and said, I am definitely going away. Otherwise can I wait for them to kill? But this video shows that your dog has eaten all 3 soldiers. That's legitimate defense. You haven't been injured, so you won't retaliate against the entire military base, right? If I get injured, it's not just a matter of revenge on a military base, Lin Yu said coldly. Nick Fury has a big head. It sounds like what Lin Yu said makes sense. But after thinking about it, Nick Fury still feels wrong. As the honorary consultant of Avengers, you can't just think of revenge on others, Nick Fury said weakly. I don't bother to pay attention to you, and this is Erha's own revenge, I can't manage. Lin Yu simply pushed the responsibility directly on Erha's head, loving it. You take your time to study, I'm going to see my idol. Lin Yu got up, turned around and left. Behind him, Nick Fury looked bitter. He has completely regretted it. This Lin Yu, he really can't control, but there was also a trace of fortune in his heart. Fortunately, it was the stupid General Ross who provoked Lin Yu, not himself. Sharon, go. Let's go see my idol. Out of the door of Nick Fury's office, Lin Yu directly recruited Roar, who was waiting at the door. The two went directly to the captain's room of the United States. Nick Fury's worries, let him worry about it. Lin Yu didn't bother to care. Whoever provokes himself must be prepared to be retaliated against. The identity of a little Avengers honorary consultant can't stop oneself. When he first traveled to this world, Lin Yu was very cautious in his work. But now, Lin Yu is no longer the Wuxia Amen of the year. Ding. Congratulations to the host for meeting Marvel's core protagonist, the United States Captain Steve Rogers, for the first time, and rewarding 2 plot points. As soon as he came to the room of the Captain of the United States, Lin Yu had already sounded the system reminder in his mind. Lin Yu smiled and looked at the still confused guy in front of him. He is exactly the same as the image in the movie. It's just that he is still in a daze now. I had just been asleep for 70 years, and only after waking up did I realize that everything had changed. It's really not easy to get over it. Seeing Lin Yu and Sharon coming over, Steve didn't react too much. In the past few days, he has seen many strangers. After a few words with the captain of the United States, Lin Yu went straight to the subject. Do you want to see Peggy Carter? Lin Yu asked. Steve nodded slowly. He definitely wants to meet. After all, that was the only person he knew in this world. Lin Yu smiled slightly and said, Go, I'll accompany you. Peggy Cat is my idol. I also want to take this opportunity to meet. Steve naturally agreed. He was satisfied to see Peggy Carter. I don't care that Lin Yu followed. But Sharon was a little confused. It seems that my boss said before that the captain of the United States is his idol. After I met, I didn't get excited. After chatting casually, I'm going to see my aunt. But just when Lin Yu and Sharon were taking the captain of the United States, Steve, to go to the hospital to visit Sharona's aunt Peggy Cart. But in the corridor of S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, I ran into the Phil Coulson agent. With an anxious look on his face, he was rushing out. Seeing Lin Yu, Sharon and others, he just made a move, roar. It seems that something urgent has happened. After Phil Coulson walked over, several more S.H.I.E.L.D. agents rushed out. Lin Yu frowned slightly and said to Sharon, Ask what happened. Hearing Lin Yu's words, Sharon hurriedly grabbed an agent and asked, What happened? The agent glanced at Sharon and seemed to recognize the identity of Sharon's high-level agent. Then, he hurriedly said, There seems to be something wrong with Stark Industries, as if one of its shareholders is called Obadiah Stan and is doing some dangerous research. After speaking, the agent hurriedly chased Phil Coulson's back. Hearing this explanation, Sharon and Steve didn't feel much. They didn't touch too much about Stark Industries. But hearing this sentence in Lin Yu's ears, it was different. He knows all the plots of Marvel. In this situation, doesn't it mean? Is Iron Man's first and final plot coming? Tony fights Obadiah Stan? Lin Yu's eyes gradually lit up. This is the proper main storyline. And it's the finale. This is much more important than seeing a small supporting role like Peggy Carter. And Peggy Carter won't die for a while, so you can check it out anytime later. However, if things like Tony vs. Obadiah Stan were missed, there would be no chance again. Let's go, Sharon, let's go and see too. Lin Yu hurriedly recruited Roar Sharon, and was about to run outside. Steve behind Lin Yu was anxious. What's going on? Didn't you say it's good to see your girlfriend? Why are you going to Stark? Why does this guy like to join in the fun so much? Then shall we go to the hospital? Steve asked hastily. Lin Yu is in charge of him at this time. Coping said, Go back, don't worry. After speaking, he pulled up Sharon's little hand and ran towards his car. Sharon didn't expect that Lin Yu would even take his hand. A flush of shame suddenly appeared on his face. It's really annoying. Sharon couldn't help but grasp Lin Yu's hand tightly and ran out following Lin Yu. Behind them, Steve frowned slightly, then gritted his teeth and stomped his feet, and followed. In this place called S.H.I.E.L.D., it is really boring, so I might as well go out with these two people. After shopping, I took them to the hospital with myself. Lin Yu was slightly taken aback when he saw Steve following him. But then I didn't bother to care about it. Just follow. Anyway, after Tony fights Obadiah Stan, he has to go to the hospital with Steve. I came back to pick him up just to save time. Open the door, ignite, start. Camaro made a roar like a beast. With a kick of the accelerator, he disappeared into the night. Steve had seen such a fast car there, and he hurriedly grasped the handrail on the door of the car in fright, with a look of horror on his face. Sharon, the co-pilot, didn't worry at all about the speed of the speed. In her heart, she was still slightly happy. He actually grabbed his hand.